Do you think that you're good at it?
Good at what? Head?
Yeah, going down on girls.
I mean, it's been like a decade and a half, so
Probably not.
no, I'd kill it. I'd be amazing. I know it.
So you, for that decade and a half, you've
Yeah.
had that same, you've never been in a serious relationship? Is that what you're saying?
I've been in multiple long-term serious relationships.
Okay.
5 year, 2 year, 9 month,
Because
1
I
year.
feel like your main problem was, I don't know if she fucked someone yesterday. So if you're in a committed relationship.
Well, that's one of the reasons. One of the reasons why, and this is one of the reasons why I'd actually recommend. I guess I'm giving advice. I'd recommend men not do it the first time you're with a girl. Like, unless you've established that you guys are monogamous, you have to assume, and girls can assume this too about men, that they're fucking somebody else. Like, I mean, you two are in Isla Vista. You know how it is. You're in
Yeah.
LA. You know how it is.
But
You're
that's
in
not
LA.
a problem for
you
everyone.
know how it is.
If you're open to polyamory.
Well, I do think, okay, so I do think it is a bit different between men and women, but most men, like, have a very, unless they're cucks, they're going to have an issue with a woman who's, like, fucking a bunch of other men. I don't think that's a particularly
Unless
controversial
they're-
take, but
If you're in the polyamory community and you're consciously communicating about all the other men that you're sleeping with and they know each other and they're brothers, that's totally different.
yeah, but I mean, that's most men, most women are total normies. They're not polyamorous. If you look, the vast majority of people, you ask most women, no, disagree.
It's cool to get into those, not just the.
Yeah, but it's like
know,
the
the
exception
mainstream.
doesn't make the rule, you know? So, like, there are polyamorous men. There are men that want to be cucked and have, like, another guy come in and, like, fuck his girl. But, like, most men are going to have a serious issue with that. Well, we can ask the table. And, again, I do also, before I go around, I do acknowledge it is a bit different between men and women. But do you have an issue with men who are promiscuous? Or would you rather date a guy who's not promiscuous, or would you rather? I'm not framing this question right. Do you have, if a guy had slept with 100 women, is that an issue for you?
Well, I think there's a broader underlying message to that. Like, if you sleep with 100 women, how do you really perceive women, and how are you going to perceive me? You know? Because that's a lot, you know?
You're going to be number 101. You're very special.
Oh, whoop-de-doo.
Very special, right?
Yeah, I feel like that conveys a deeper message, and I'd be a little more uneasy.
Let me ask you a question. You're seeing a guy, you like this guy, maybe it's a first, second date. You find out that in the previous 7 days he slept with 4 other women. Do you think that the likelihood, it's certainly plausible that that could turn to a fruitful and long-term loving relationship, but just like your gut instinct, if you find out a guy had slept with 4 other women and he's about to go on a date with you, he slept with 4 other women that week.
Before we met? Like, are we first meeting on this date, or have we been talking?
Whatever the scenario, let's say the first, second, or third date. So it's pretty new.
Okay.
But he's entertaining other options. So you're probably going to think, okay, I'm just going to be part of the roster.
Yeah, long term, that.
He's probably not a good bet for long-term
Yeah, definitely.
commitment.
Definitely.
Maybe if you just want to have fun, fine, who cares, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. But even then, some women might be like, okay, that's a problem. Do you want to come in on this?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way, but people have their past. Like, I don't know if they were like going through something and they use sex as like a means of making themselves feel better. Like, I know people who go through that, or like people who are like celebrities or like high profile people. I'm gonna assume that they like have hooked up with other people. But what was the question?
Would you take quarrel with a guy you're interested in potentially dating? Would it be like a deal breaker or a red flag, or just a non-starter if you knew that he was a player, he's slept with a bunch of women?
You gotta play the game. You gotta be the player too.
But you're not a player though.
You don't know me.
Well,
Just kidding.
but I mean, you admitted to your
Yeah, I don't really.
your 2 body count. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's, how old are you? 19?
I'm 21.
21. I mean, that's not gonna lie, that's pretty low for, and I would say that's a good thing. But why don't you come in on this?
Yeah. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a red flag for me. It's more, the number to me is less important. It's more of like, how are you showing up with me in this moment? And who are you? Can I feel your energy? And the number, it's not that important. And I've slept with a lot of people as well. And also being in the sacred sexuality world. And there's like, just this sharing of erotic energy that can happen in a conscious way that's beautiful. And so I'm open to that. I'm here for that. But it's like, if the person's coming in with an energy that it's also like, what am I looking for? Do I just want sex in this moment? Then like, maybe I'd be open to that. Sure. But do I want, someone who's going to like really care for me and we can go into a relationship? Then maybe I wouldn't be open to it. So depends on what I'm seeking.
Yeah. I mean, same thing like you said. If a guy is sleeping with a lot of other women, I'm going to automatically assume that that's the same regard they're going to have for me. Like, why do you want to have sex with me then? If you're having sex with other women. So,
yeah, are you going to go to another girl's house right after?
So, I mean, I guess I just have little regard for it. Like, why are you talking to me? You have other women that you can sleep with. But I guess it's like, I don't know, like if a guy is trying to show interest in me and actually wants to take me seriously, I guess that's a different story. But then I have to ask the question, like, okay, are you still having sex with all these other women? If they are, like, why would I take them seriously? What would make me want to take them seriously? So
I feel like in the beginning, you what you said, like you can kind of assume that might not be the case every time. But wait, where was I going with this? Never mind, just skip me.